Hello and welcome, Streets to Summits, episode 5. So, this is basically my show where I come less and less prepared with, every single episode that's going on. But basically, yeah, we are in full summer mode. It is really, really hot right now, and this room has no ventilation, and I am running out of breath basically just while talking. But honestly, uh, well, there are some good things, there are some not so good things. Basically, there is a very, very big chance that I'm going to be missing Ultrace, which sucks. But yeah, my car has issues that I haven't had the time to resolve. Basically, the issue is for some reason, there is a vacuum in my fuel tank, and when like few seconds after I start my car, I hear like a pretty loud thump, which basically just indicates that something is bending when basically, as I know, and now I don't know a lot, basically, um, when the vacuum appears and something gets sucked in, something bends, and I'd say it's probably the fuel tank. So, as like from all of the research that I've done, I could go to Ultrace if I stopped every hour, relieve the pressure by taking off the cap. If I kept the fuel level between like a fourth and like between 25% and 75%. So that seems like a lot of risk. Like, yes, I already paid for the ticket to Ultrace, which was 55 euros. But when I think about it, I'd rather lose 55 euros on the ticket than my car breaking down in somewhere in Poland, and then spending, I don't know how much money to bring the car back home and then fix it, which would probably cost me like 3, 4, 500 euros maybe. Which, when you consider 55 euros, 500 euros, maybe losing 55 is better. So yeah, unfortunate, but there's always the next year. So there is still a couple of days. Maybe I will figure something out. But this seems unlikely as I found myself a job. I'm gonna begin working again. So yeah, there's gonna be less time for videos and less time for traveling. So I am going to need to figure something out fast. But whenever there's an issue, I tend to just focusing on finding a way to solve it instead of just thinking about the issue. So I'm gonna figure something out. But when it comes to Ultrace, it's probably not happening this year. But there's gonna be like things going on for the rest of the summer. There's definitely gonna be cool events for me to visit to see. Yeah, just slightly unfortunate. Now, the other thing is I bought myself a bike. If you watched a video on my personal channel, I got into cycling again, which is actually, I forgot how fun it was. So, I didn't like ride a lot these past few days. I got the bike just only 2 days ago. I did some more riding, yesterday, and I forgot how much fun it is, just jumping on a bike, feeling the wind in your face. I was going to say feeling the wind in your ear, but I don't really have much of it left, unfortunately. But yeah, that's gonna be a new way for me to build endurance, to build strength. So yeah, there are some other things that I'm probably gonna be working on, for Perevia's channel, which I'd say you should be looking forward to because there's like all of the cool stuff is going on there. But basically, I don't want to reveal all of my cards now. Now, I think I talked about Gran Paradiso the previous episode, so I shouldn't do that again. But basically, yeah, the current, like all of the training I'm doing, like running, cycling, and so on, is for that. I'm gonna try, to figure out, like maybe some sort of a challenge, which would be maybe a fun video, maybe including hiking, running, cycling, that would maybe, take the same amount of time as it would to climb up and climb down Gran Paradiso. So that would be interesting. So there's, yeah, like stuff left to figure out. But other than that, I'd say things are moving forward slowly. You know, um, some things I'm neglecting, like this show, but you know, I'm trying to keep consistent. I'm not giving up. I I realize that if you basically start skipping something, if you give up on something, coming back to it is incredibly difficult. So even though I am very unprepared, I really don't want to miss an episode. Even though it's getting zero between these series are getting between 0 and 1 views, and I still want to keep it going because I know if you're consistent, things are gonna get better. And if I improve the visuals, if I improve the audio, which I'm hoping to do soon, you know, things are gonna get only, go only for the better. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be getting back to my old job. Well, not probably. There's like 99% chance of me getting back to my old job, which has some upsides and has quite a few more downsides. But you know, it is what it is, I guess. Things didn't really go my way since I left, and they invited me back, and I haven't said yes yet, but I'm probably gonna be doing that today. So, on the other news, there's not much news actually. I didn't really go exploring, didn't go on any adventures this past week. Yeah, like because of the car issues, I'm a tiny bit, afraid of driving somewhere further. I really wanted to go to the cinema this week, which I didn't do, and basically no adventures, no exploring. All I did was, working out this week, which is good, it's still something. But when it comes to adventures, yeah, I didn't really do much. Now, I bought myself a bike, but actually, before I bought myself a bike, I was looking into something else. And I was really looking into, I don't know how it's called in English. Is it called a power kite? But basically, the big kite that is used, most of the time in water, uh, what is it called? No, it's not wave kite. Is it wave kiting? Sea kiting? Wind kiting? I forgot what it's called in English. But basically, there is a massive discount on a kite like that. And like it's 56% discount from a good brand, and it still costs quite a bit. Now, when I saw it, I immediately started Googling about it, and basically, the thing that put me off is that you shouldn't be learning on that kite. You should be, grabbing it when you already know how to steer it, how to control it, how to do all of it. And I have never held a kite of this type in my hands in my entire life. So buying something, on a big discount, yeah, that's good. But snapping my neck while using that thing is probably not the greatest of ideas. Because, there is quite a few things that you need to know about the wind. And, the thing that I wanted it for was snowboarding during winter. Where I live, there's a lot of like, empty fields. And I thought maybe, during a windy day, it would be really fun, to just go for it. Just basically snow kiting. And I watched videos of people doing that, and it seemed like so much fun. But yeah, I know that there's like it's difficult to like launch it alone, and there's like there's a lot of things you need to know and a lot of things you need to learn. And I was thinking that if I just basically if I'm just sitting, standing in the field, just trying, to learn to control it, and things are going fine, and there's like a big gust of wind, I'm probably going up in the air and not landing well. Because I think there are like, well, of course there are, but there are different sizes of these kites, and the one that I was looking at was 12 square meters, which I don't know if there are bigger ones, but 12 square meters is actually, when you think about it, it is a very decently sized kite. So me flying from the ground without even wanting it is probably a very real possibility. So yeah, I'm probably gonna skip it because I don't really have much money and it costs like 300 something euros, and I still need, I think, the control stick, the control, whatever it's called. I'm the type of person where I see something and I want to grab it without thinking. I didn't do like the amount of research I've done is like minimal, and I didn't even really look at other things that you need for it. So yeah, I haven't done much research. So probably gonna be skipping it, even though it looks incredibly fun and incredibly cool. But I just think that I wouldn't use it enough where it would pay off. But if I learn, however, I could use it during winter on snow. I could use it during summer, just drive to the sea. So there are there are possibilities, but I think I'm gonna skip it. I'm actually thinking about, if you all watched my old videos, I have this old rusty 2002 Mustang, and the best thing to do would be to sell that and buy myself like a road trip car, maybe like a Subaru like Outback or Forester, where I could put all of my snowboards, and maybe, instead of buying that kite for 300 something euros, I could go, on a decently sized adventure, for that kind of money. I could probably drive back to Risi, climb it, and then, probably have money left. It depends on where you're staying. But honestly, yeah, there's just a lot going on right now. And sometimes I'm feeling that I'm not doing a good job. I think I grabbed way too much, honestly. I'm starting to feel like that because I have my personal channel, I have Perevia, I have Three Sesames, this show that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to run a store, and I'm trying to basically from A to Z, everything I'm doing solo. So video ideas, filming, editing, running the store, creating designs for clothing, filming, from A to Z, everything I do solo. And yeah, sometimes I'm starting to feel that that it's a tiny bit too much, and I think I'm gonna have proof of that when I start working, because there's definitely gonna be less videos, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So I guess this is gonna be another very short episode, because I am completely unprepared this time. The previous episodes I said that I'm unprepared, but I still had something written down. This time I just set everything up and just turned on the camera and just started yapping, as I like to do. So I'm gonna still try my best as much as I can, keep this show going every single Thursday, new episodes releasing, and just I'm gonna really try to make it better, as well as I'm gonna try to optimize my training with work, adventures with work, so yeah, interesting time period is coming, but I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be cool. A tiny bit sad that things aren't exactly going the way I wanted them to go, but they never do. I'm trying to remember, what does Bear Grylls say? Like, adapt, overcome, something, adapt, overcome, and something else. So basically, yeah, things don't go the way you plan it, so you need to adapt. Other than that, I guess this is gonna be it. Episodes are getting shorter and shorter and shorter, but when I start preparing a tiny bit more, they're gonna get back to the normal 20-25 minute mark. If anyone watched it, thank you very much for watching, but this is gonna be it for this quick episode. Other than that, again, thank you for watching, and see you next time.